Happy to read them or have you on the show. Send it to confessionsofacarguy@gmail.com and we'll all laugh. That really happened. Hi, everybody. I hope you're having a great day, night, or whenever you're listening or watching this show. But I do want to talk about the FTC. They're a company they're a part of the government that is in charge of taking care of the consumer. And I'm all for that. Consumers need protection. Dealers need protection. Well, we both need a protection. It seems like with the auto industry, they kind of go overboard. I mean, no matter what else you go today and buy, and I'm going to use an example of, I got new glasses. I'm getting old. Most of those people you said were listening, probably people who know me and they're my age. That's why we got a good amount of people listening to that. But going to buy glasses, they must have listed so many options for me to click on. The upsell was tremendous. I mean, from the different lenses to frames to how they bend and so on and so forth. I had no idea what it was going to cost me until it was all done. So, and even when it was all done, they didn't explain it really to me. But you go into a car dealer and you get everything, and you get it in black and white, and they line item everything. But the FTC goes out of its way to, I believe, to make it really hard on car dealers. They tried to come out with the CARS rule, which was combating auto retail scams. That alone sounds pretty bad, that we're all doing scams at every car dealer, so on and so forth. So this was a rule finalized December of 2023, and then they tried to put it in effect January of 2025, but it got turned down because the FTC broke their own rule. So they turned it down. It didn't come into play yet, but they're still working on it. So I want to talk about what it is. I mean, what combating auto retail scams means. What it does is it prohibits the dealer from misrepresentations about their vehicle and pricing, which we don't try to do that on purpose anyhow. That I don't know why that's something that they got to make part of this combating auto retail scams. The next one is it requires dealers to clearly disclose the offering price, the actual price that anyone's going to pay. Well, like I said, I just bought glasses. I had no idea what the price was going to be until after it's all done. And the same thing with the car dealer. One of the items in it is to make it illegal in cars is to make it illegal for dealers to charge consumers for add-ons that don't provide a benefit. Well, a benefit to one person and a benefit to other could be two completely different things. One thing we sell in the car is there's tire and wheel insurance. Well, if you live in the city, you got to run flat. It's very important to have tire and wheel. But somebody who lives out in the suburbs, maybe not so much, or doesn't drive much, they don't need it. Gap insurance. You go in, you buy a car, and if you bought a car during COVID, I would hope that you got gap insurance, because the pricing of cars were so expensive for a dealer to buy, that got passed on to the consumer. So when they go to trade in the car, between depreciation and everything else on that car, if it got stolen, you were in big trouble because you owed a lot more than it's worth. But to a customer, so that there's that, provides a benefit to the person who comes in, no money down, has negative equity or limited money down. It's a great product. To somebody who's paying cash, or not even, it only comes up when you're financing, but let's say they put down $5,000, $10,000 or 20%, 30%, they may not need the gap insurance. Or maybe they don't even care about it because they got 20 or 30,000 to put down. What's okay, I lose the car, and I got to pay a little bit of money. It is what it is. But that just makes it so arbitrary that it has to provide a benefit. They can't sell it without it. The other one, it requires the dealer to get consumers express informed consent before charging them for anything. Well, here's how this works. Customer comes in, most dealers at least, comes in, salesman does his job or her job, takes the customer, shows them 1, 2, 3 cars, whatever it is. Then they find out if they got a trade or not, or they may have found out. They bring the trade to the manager's appraising it. Then they start to work the deals, which they bring out a worksheet, and they say, well, here's the asking price. And yeah, are there ads? Yeah, we have ads. We might have it already on the car. There might be an addendum that says we have some kind of chemical that keeps the car clean. One of the articles I read was saying that there's hydrogen in air in the tires. People are charging for that, or nitrogen. I'm sorry, but okay. To me, that's full of shit to me too. I don't know what the reason is, but it just says that we already have an addendum, so we send out this worksheet. We say, here's the car, 10,000. The car's got item added, B item added, another 1,000. So the car's 13,000. Your car's worth 8. It's 5,000 plus tax, title, and license. What does a customer do? Most of them, well, I don't want that. I saw it online, or mostly it's always online now. Saw it online. I want it for the 8,000. I don't want it. And the dealer, well, you know what they say? Okay. That's what it is then. Okay, this is what the car is worth, and we go backwards. If the customer does decide to take that, they get into a finance office. Now, the FTC has already added. I mean, we have the what is it? My brain's not working for a second there. We got the red flag rule compliance, so we have to have that filled out about credit. And we have to we got the Dodd-Frank rule by the FTC. We got to do that. We got the used car rule from 1985 when they started to put buyer's guides on every car. And in 85, it hurt the customer more than helped it. 85, they made us put a buyer's guide on every car, which said the car either has a warranty or doesn't have a warranty. Well, you're still buying a machine that you don't know when it's going to break down. Now they got actuaries that probably know to the day on cars today. But back in 85, you didn't know when this car was going to shit the bed. So dealers had to be protected. So what did they do? They made every car almost as is and shown, no warranty, unless the car was under factory warranty. And then they would put an implied limited warranty. So by doing all that, you kind of killed the customer's opportunity to have. A lot of dealers used to give us a 90-day warranty, that would cover powertrain, engine, trans, and something else, I forget, but they would give a drivetrain warranty. Other dealers would give a whole year. Some even today give a lifetime warranty on the powertrain, and that's included in every car they sell. So, but by making the FTC, by making so more rules, I mean, the finance department is really like the backstop for every deal that happens. I'm going to have a finance person on the show in the next couple of weeks just to go through what they do. Like I said, when I started, there was like 4 or 5 forms we filled out. We used carbon paper. We could fill it out by pen. We did a couple 4 or 5 forms. Now they got to have 10 to 20 at least. Even on a cash deal, they got like 10 because of the litigiousness of the society we're in. But the finance department is the backstop. So when you get billed out or sign your paperwork as a customer, they are putting everything in front of you and saying, this is what you're getting. You got to sign for it. This is what you're getting. You got to sign for it. Almost every dealer I talk to, that's their process. I don't know any that put their arm over the contract and hide it and say, okay, folks, I want you to sign this little X in between my arms and say, this is where you sign. You don't know, so you don't know what you're getting. It's all line item. It breaks it down. There's 10,000. You got 1,100 for tire and wheel insurance. You got 2,000 for warranty. It's all there. Customer can say yes, no, maybe right then and there. But it seems to me that the FTC goes out of their way to create rules and guidelines that make the car business. They're already making us look worse than we are. The car business when I started already had a bad reputation. It was the checkered suit and the pinky ring guy, and cigar smoking. So I still fit the cigar smoking guy. I'm still that guy. Matter of fact, I was waiting for you. I was going to light up, and I said, maybe I should just wait till after the show. And then my wife would have got mad if I was in my office smoking anyhow. But anyhow, we already got a bad reputation as car people. I told you when I started, my wife was a dentist for many 40 plus years. So I never told anybody what I did for the first 5 years we were dating. We've been together 43 years. I never told anybody. I think even I better be careful. It might be 47 or 8. I think it might be longer. But I never told anybody what I did because I was almost embarrassed back then. It really wasn't something. They're all dentists, and it wasn't something that I bragged about, so nobody ever knew about it. And finally, at a certain point, I just said, well, what the fuck? This is what I do. I was proud of it. I loved all the people I met in the car business, and I never, ever hurt a customer on a car. I always went out of my way to make them happy, find what they wanted, and take care of them the whole way through. And I've done that all the way up until I retired. And that's why I would get 40, 50 referrals a month. I just got a bottle in the mail, a Bushmills bottle of scotch, 24-year-old, from a customer that, remember I told you I was getting a bunch of calls about the new deal from ComEd. One of my customers just sent that to my house. I don't know which one, because I did do a few deals for a few people, but customers, you take care of them, they take care of you. So the FTC really does a lot to make the car business put so many more rules into effect that you got to go to school, first of all. Well, I don't know if you still do, so I'll take that back. But I know there's F&I schools. And to go to be in finance, when I started, I went into finance in, I want to say, 1983, and I went to Pat Ryan School. And for those older guys you were talking about, they know exactly. If you went to Pat Ryan School, that was the shit. I can remember going to Pat Ryan School, and there was 50, 40, 30 people. I don't remember how many were there, but there was a lot from all over the country. They weren't just from Illinois or Chicago. I was fortunate. I think it was on Wacker Drive. I lived in Chicago, Northwest Side, so I could drive. But you stayed down there. And I'm going to tell you a funny story about that. But you went through F&I schools, a 2, 3, 4 day, I don't remember. There you had to learn all the laws. You had to learn how to do the paperwork. You had to actually role play in front of a camera, which I'll tell a story about that too. Role play on a camera. And then you had to pass a test at the end. And if you went through Pat Ryan school, you were guaranteed to get a job in a car dealer in F&I. So I went there, and today I know they got, I think it's called AID or AIS. I know that there's a couple, American Family has it. A lot of the warranty companies, I think there's the
Ethos does it too.
Does it, yeah, Ethos. So they send you. It's a privilege to be the finance guy. It really is, and you are the backstop. If a deal comes in and there's something wrong, I would tell when I was a GM, my finance team was my stopgap of errors. When something went crazy or went awry or there was something wrong, I don't care if it was for the customer or for us, I had to get a phone call, and I had to talk through it with them to see what we got. And then we got with the customer and said, hey, this is what we did. If it was their benefit, it stayed their benefit. I never changed it. It was our benefit. Well, we explained to them, and then we might have to do a dance at that point. Usually we lost at that point. We would have to go back, and then we'd give that to the customer too. Because like I said, dealers aren't out to take advantage of anybody. We're just trying to sell cars, make money, have fun. That's it. We got families and mortgages just like everybody else. So this FTC with all these new rules, or not even new rules, just all the rules they put in place for the car industry. I just don't see it against other businesses. I don't see it when I go to buy carpet, when I go to buy a refrigerator. I get upsold on everything I try to buy, and nobody says shit about it. But you do it in a car business, you're a bad guy. You're a thief. So when I was at Pat Ryan School, I'm a people person. I get along with a lot of people. So I got to know the teachers really well. And I was really impressed by these guys all. And I actually took my style from one of them, which was, if anybody knows me, I wear cufflinks every day to work, handkerchief in my suit, in my pocket. And I got that from a guy who trained me to be an F&I guy anyhow. But so we were friends. We went out, befriended him. And now I had just gotten a demo from this dealer. A demo, for everybody who doesn't know, is you get a car from the dealer and you get to use it at your leisure. You use it until they sell it, or you put too many miles and they take it away. They took a lot of that away because we car people, we create every problem we fucking have. Everybody took it. They got drunk, crashed their cars. They got high, crashed their cars. They got speeding tickets. The insurance for the dealer went skyrocketing. So if you got a dealer today, take care of it. Don't fuck that up. But I got this demo. I take the trainer, the head trainer, and the rep who brought me there, and my partner, a lady, was my finance partner. She was like 6 feet tall, beautiful lady. And, I'm like 4 feet tall. So I come up to like her hip. And we went drinking downtown Division Street. So we're hammered, and I got the demo. So we get in my car, and this isn't good. Don't do this today. I'm driving back, and I'm on, I think, Ohio Street, but where it turns into the highway, not downtown Ohio Street, where you go under a viaduct. There's a train tracks, and there's a viaduct. Well, I'm like shit-faced. Everybody's shit-faced in the car. So I make a right turn and I feel boom, 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 boom. I'm like, what the fuck? I ended up on the railroad tracks, perpendicular with them. I'm stuck. I ripped the whole undercarriage out of the car. I'm hammered. So we get out of the car. There's 4 of us, and 2 of them are teachers, and then there's me and my partner. I'm like, the car got stolen. The car got stolen. Anybody asked, you guys let's go back. You couldn't get a cab or an Uber back then. So we walked, who knows how long. We kind of we're all so shit-faced and scared at the same time that we kind of went our separate ways. And when I got back to the hotel where we were staying for school, my F&I partner was sitting in the stairwell crying. I don't know where the other 2 guys went, but I said the car got stolen. So I had to go sneak to the valet, get my keys, my tag, because I snuck out. So I had to get the keys back to that valet. So I bring it back. I go through all this. I sneak it in, got it back. The car's sitting under a viaduct somewhere. So get back. I go to the next day. We have to do. Remember, I said you got to train in front of a video. Well, I got a partner from, I think he was either Iowa or Missouri. I can't remember. And he's like, "All right, man, we got to do all this." I go, "Here, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna nod your fucking head and not say a word, and I'll do the rest. You just shake your head, but don't say anything, because the camera's on me." So I'm like hungover. So I'm in front of the camera. I'm not saying a word. I'm just mouthing pretend words. So there's like 30 of us, like I said. So there's like 60 videos they got to go through, and you don't move on unless you do this. So the end of the class comes, they got to review them all. I get called in. "Hey, there's no volume." I was like, "Oh, I don't know what happened." Now the teacher is my friend. Don't forget, I already went out with him, and so is the other guy. So I have to go, and you couldn't call him. It's not like we had cell phones. I tell him, I said, "Listen, you got to tell these guys I'm not doing it because I'm still hungover and I still got to figure out how I'm going to tell the dealer that the car's gone. So just get me out of this. So I ended up getting out of doing the video portion. I get back to the dealership. I call up the dealer because, again, no cell phones. I show up to Monday and I said, hey, car got stolen. And as I'm talking, I see the car get towed in on a flatbed to the dealership. And I won't say the dealer's name or the guy, but I told him the story that, hey, it got stolen. I don't know what happened. And I stuck by it for about 20 years. Then one day I'm at Gianotti's restaurant in Norwich, and who do I see? That GM. And I said, listen, man, I got to come clean with you. That car didn't get stolen. I fucked it all up. I was drunk. I don't drink anything. I haven't drank in 30 years. I crashed the car. I tore off the bottom. I didn't know how to tell you. It's my first finance job. I was being sent to finance school. I didn't want to lose the job over a goddamn car and me being an idiot. So I tell him he wanted to beat my ass. Luckily, he was about 25 years older than me, so he couldn't. He was just too old at that time. But if I would have told him that day, he would have beat the fuck out of me. There's no doubt about it. But that is a true story, and I live to tell it. But finance people, they got to go through a lot of training, real training. They got a lot of rules and a lot of laws they got to follow. And I wish that the FTC would pay more attention to every other business against people, against the consumer, or as much of as they do to a car dealer. So the car dealer is nonstop having something going on, yet every other business that at least that I deal with, and I'm sure you do in your daily life, has the same shit. They don't get reprimanded. You don't hear about them in the news. You don't hear. Go buy a refrigerator. Go buy a roofing. Go buy anything. If you don't have, if it's not your friend doing it, or somebody you grew up with who you know, or somebody referred you or something, you're going to get put on an elevator and they're going to ask to upsell you all kinds of stuff. And nobody says nothing. I mean, the FTC has the 3-day law. I think it's called the 3-day law. Well, the 3-day law is really only if a car dealer comes and sells you a car at your house, a dorm, let's say. It was brought out for like vacuum cleaner salespeople, because vacuum cleaner guys are really good at their job. Encyclopedia salespeople, really good, and they don't even really exist anymore. But when I started selling, I would go talk to these guys and ask them what do they do? Tell me your pitch. Window guys. But what that law is that's an FTC law, and it's a good one, because they come into your house and they talk you into buying something. They talk you into buying something. So you end up buying it, and you got 3 days to get out of that. Well, that doesn't apply to car dealers. It only applies if you're at a tent sale. Now that applies. Speaking of tent sales, I was talking to a good friend of mine who I believe his family invented the tent sale. For those of you that have been in the car business a long time, the Morrow Auto Mall was in Kenosha. The Morrow family was way ahead of its time. They really were. We had tent sales way before then. We had addendums way before then. They had their own finance company, which I'll tell a story about that someday. I just want to talk to my friend and see if he's okay with it. But they were the real deal when it came to car deals. And a lot of the stuff that happens today, they were doing 30 years ago. So, and they're still very successful car people. But getting back, I got off course a little bit, which I always do. Getting back to the FTC and all these rules, there's too many against the car dealer, and they come out here every year. This one they tried to pass in January 2025. Look at everything else. Take care of the consumer that way. Give us a break. We're already line iteming everything, 40 different forms to fill out. We're online advertising. every price we got is online. I don't know many places, or I don't know any, matter of fact, that when you go there wouldn't sell you the car for what it's online for. I don't know any. Now, do they try to upsell? Yeah, but so does the whole world. So anyhow, that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about today, Badgie, and I really appreciate you coming. I know you worked all day, so thanks for coming and doing this today.
Yeah, no, this is definitely like I said, I enjoy doing this as well. Like you were mentioning earlier, I'm in the car business. I work for a awesome organization, and really like that old school feel, man. I get to drive home in a demo every day, and it's 2025, so and
Yeah.
it's that old school feel. I work with the old school car guys, and it's pure magic. And you were mentioning earlier, I think it's when you talk about what you do for a living, a lot of times people, and I'm a single guy, so it's like you tell a girl I sell cars for a living right away, or I'm a bad person. But you know what?
Yeah.
It's a badge of honor. It really turned my life around to get into this business. It turned me into a professional. I can tell you what, in a week in, week out basis, because I work for a luxury car dealership, I'm talking to movie stars, talking to professional athletes, CEOs, CFOs of major corporations, people worth hundreds of millions of dollars. And it's all learned from this business. And I find that I'm very proud to work in this business because, like I said, it made something out of me. And I always tell people, if they don't know what to do with their life, go to the military or go to the car business, because it did that. And but there's also that bad side. I'm sure you were talking about that earlier. There's that side that's not good. There's people who like to. I heard today, like just some of the stuff that other places do, to customers and their own people, and it's sad that that's what's advertised and what's singled out. There's really a lot of good. A lot of people's lives have been forever changed, and I'm an advocate for that. So, and that's why we wanted to kind of do this thing, is to talk about some of those things and some of the new challenges as well. And we want to thank you guys again. We forgot to mention Huck earlier. Great quote.
Yeah. Oh, one thing I was just thinking about that you just kind of mentioned is there's, everybody, we're at one store that I worked for. We had T-shirts we handed out. They said, "I got a guy," because that is one part of the life of anybody anywhere. They always like to say they got a guy in the car business who they can trust, they can talk to. And I always felt pretty proud that I was that guy. I would get, yes, my wife, I would get 30, 40 calls a week from different people because they didn't always buy the car from me because I was with a luxury brand for 10 years, or I'm sorry, 7.5 years. And you just didn't have it. And then I was out for 10 years, 9 years, and I didn't have cars. So I would send them all over. But they could always call me and I would walk them through and tell them, say, "Hey, this is what's out there. Take a look. This place will take care of you. They're good people." And I'd refer them to somebody. So, the car business, when I was embarrassed when I was a kid, I started so young. I was 19 years old, and I started being a professional salesman. And I was immature at the time, and I became a manager very early. And that's why I was so mature with the car. But I think, fast forwarding it, I don't think there's any place that I ever worked at that wouldn't hire me back if I was still old. I'm old now. I don't want to work for anybody. I can't do it. It's a young man's game. I mean, you guys who are out there that are older, who've been around for, man, is it tough. I feel for you. Keep it going, keep it up. But it's really hard on your body. You're chomping the pavement all day, just going. I mean, I can't tell you how many pairs of shoes I went through selling cars. I mean, it's just, and suits. I mean, how many times if you're a used car manager, you get in a suit and you ruin your suit over it. Can't tell you how many times a spring came out, ripped my suit, something like that. You get some real junkers you get in that like it's a fast food restaurant. Somebody just ordered from and left all the food in and then brought it to you for an appraisal. So, but anyhow, thanks, Badgie.
you can visit our website, trueconfessionsofacarguy.com. There you can submit a voicemail if you want to be on the show or if you have a crazy story. And then also you can link up and download your favorite podcast on your favorite podcast platform, Spotify, Apple Play. It's everywhere. True Confessions of a Car Guy. And also we have a professional page on LinkedIn where you can connect with other fans of the show, True Confessions of a Car Guy. And once there, like I said, you can network and connect with others as well. And then finally, the email address is confessionsofacarguy@gmail.com. It's a little different, confessionsofacarguy@gmail.com, as we can email us directly.